Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be talking about news. We're going to be diving into the crypto charts and markets just for a little bit. We're going to discuss, how the weekly candles have closed, what does that mean, and etc. Listen, tomorrow we'll be having a turbo video and everything will be back to normal. Was busy with the family this weekend, so forgive me for the lower amount of uploads over the last 2 days. First of all, I use Forex Factory for the main big news, right? This is also very relevant for trading. So for those that are looking to be getting into trading or in my Discord, right, Forex Factory is the way to know when there's news. We have some American news on Monday, probably won't be that impactful. So we'll skip over that, but we do have FOMC and potential rate cuts on Wednesday. Now, from what Jerome said, he said they're not going to be cutting the rates and they might be cutting in a couple weeks, but sometimes, very, very rarely, they do cut it. Okay. Now, there is probably like a 95 to 99% chance they will not cut it, but you always still have to be slightly cautious and, pay attention just in case. Rate cuts getting cut is fantastic for us. Even if they're neutral, is fine as long as things don't go up, right? As long as things don't go up, then everything is fine and it is pretty much like pro crypto. It is good for crypto. So with that being said, there's also some news on Thursday, right? Very big news for the CHF, but not really too relevant for us. Friday, some Canadian news. So that's pretty much it when it comes to news. When we go to the crypto markets, we can see that Bitcoin has gone down a decent amount. We can see that we've had a very, very weak 4-hour closing here, and we are most likely going to be retracing just a little bit. Now, the thing is that's very annoying is there's futures gaps, right? So we have a gap pretty much at 85,000, 86,000, and then now we have a gap at 84,000. So even though the prices aren't exactly the same, we know that we have a gap somewhere over here when it comes to the markets, right? Somewhere over here and somewhere over here. Now, here's the thing, people. I do prefer if things go down in a short term and then go back up, because that'd actually be more bullish for us than if things went up and then back down, right? If we went kind of just up like this and then we went like this, I wouldn't really like that. That would be less bullish than us actually going down, having some type of retracement, going up, and then doing something like this, right? So I prefer option number two, scenario number two. And we'll have to see how things play out. Right now, this is pretty bearish, right? So I expect price to at least go to 81,000 before we get any type of pullback. But we'll see how things react. We can see the markets, right? Of course, very similar, right? Pretty much near identical. This chart is near identical to Bitcoin. That is just how things work. Yeah, I mean, like, look at this. It's just very identical. The other chart is looking good, right? We have been consolidating for a while. There's still a little spot I'm looking for, potentially a pullback, right? Down to maybe 8% before we go back up. Now, I don't mind how things are playing out. We have been going sideways since pretty much February, right? So if we consolidate from February to, let's just say, the end of March, and then we have a breakout, that is most likely going to be the indication that that was the bottom for altcoins. And now the fun time, the retracement, the retracements are over. Now it's going to be the recovery, the green, the pumps, and we're going to be one step to altcoin season. Now, I know some of you guys have been holding for a very long time. Some of you guys are getting a little bit impatient, but please bear with me, as we are getting closer and closer to the final pump, right? The thing is, people, Bitcoin dominance is still on track. It is still on track to go where we want it to go, right? Upwards of 69 to 70%. And things are looking solid on that end, right? You got to remember, when altcoins were pumping, it was mainly when, Bitcoin dominance was retracing, right? I have this marked up, this white line over here, is because we swept this monthly candle and then we went all the way down to a big monthly support, rebounds, and now we're going back up. It probably will sweep the, let's just say 65% area. And then again, we're going to get some altcoin dominance going up while Bitcoin dominance goes down. People are going to think this is it, right? So something like this, then like this, right? People think this is it, but then I think that's when we're gonna, after this, that's when we're gonna have the big push. Then we're gonna break structure, we're gonna be going sideways, and then a big massive sell-off. So it is coming sooner than later, and I truly do believe that is the case. The data suggests it. There's more and more evidence that we are going to be doing very, very well this cycle. I know some of us mistimed the markets. We thought maybe getting in last year was pretty good. I know some people bought in near the relevant tops. And I do believe for most coins, I can't speak for every coin because there's so many, but let's just say for the top 50, top 75, top 100, top 150 coins, even 200 coins, I do think for most of those coins, 80, 85 to 95% of those coins will recover at least to the all-time highs. Okay. Like I said, I'm talking about hundreds of coins here, so I'm just speaking generally, but I genuinely do believe that at the worst case scenario, you should be breaking even, right? Something like render, if you got in render at 1350, I do believe you should be breaking even. Worst case scenario, Caspa, if you got in at 20 cents, we should be breaking even. Worst case scenario. And first of all, since we're already on here, let's just look at the weekly charts, right? It's going to be very, very similar with most coins. This is why I believe, the markets are just in one, and I have like that rigged mentality, right? We see render has a big sell-off candle, slight like rejection, little green candle. And then we look for Caspa, kind of the same thing, very, very similar. We go to something like Turbo, has almost the near same identical candle as, or two candles as, render does. PNG, something very, very similar. H bar, slightly different, but also very similar, right? You got to realize some coins, the context is a little bit different, but generally speaking, it is more or less the same. We've had a very big sell-off candle last week, and this current weekly candle is, it's recovering, right? It is recovering. So we'll have to see how things play out, but we talked about the Fibonacci areas, right? We do believe that generally right now is going to be a fantastic time to be buying. I highly recommend to dollar cost average. I really, really do recommend it if you are looking to be getting into crypto. Of course, not a financial advisor, but just even logically speaking, right? You literally have to just use common sense here and be like, buy low, sell high. Now, I know that is very, very like simple rule, and it's people use it in a very like ironic way, but unironically, that is what you have to do to be successful in these markets, and most people don't, right? Most people don't. So good times ahead. Very, very, very well, buying opportunities in terms of prices. Overall, if the market goes down a little bit, I don't think we should be going down any more like crazy levels, max 10, 20%. I know that's still crazy for some people, but I genuinely do believe this is going to be the last of the accumulation before we start rallying up to the upside and before we start getting those big massive pumps. But yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy. Hopefully you guys learned something from this video, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye. Have a great day.